Yo, what's up, guys? How are we doing today? Man, I've been talking about the Miami Heat and how we've been struggling and why everybody, and I mean everybody, including some Heat fans as well, are just overreacting. I just have to talk about this because it's getting out of hand, okay? The Heat disrespect after being the first seed for over 2 months and now only being a half a game ahead of the Bucks, and we're still getting this disrespected. A 3-game span is somehow throwing our season in jeopardy. A 3-game span out of an 82-game season is somehow just throwing everything we've worked for and towards, just throwing that away because of a 3-game span. Like, I don't get it at all. Other than that, let's get straight into the video. So as we know, the Miami Heat have lost 3 horrific games back to back. First against Philly, lost to without Joel Embiid and without James Harden, which was an awful loss, and we saw Tyler Herro on defense get absolutely hunted. People were surprised that Tyler Herro was getting cooked by Tyrese Maxey. Have you turned your TV and turned it into a Miami Heat game all year? Because you would know all year that Tyler Herro has been getting cooked on defense. Tyler Herro, obviously, his frame, his body size, he's not built at all. He needs to put some weight on him. He is not built right now to be a good defender. That is why we have a lineup right now, closing lineup, which always switches because Duncan Robinson's inability to play defense, and when he's not hitting his shots, why even have him on the court? It always switches, but it's usually Kyle Lowry, Tyler Herro, sometimes it's Caleb Martin, sometimes it's Max Strus, rarely it's Duncan Robinson at the 3. At the 4, obviously always PJ Tucker's 3-point shot has been just awful since the All-Star break, and at center, obviously it is Bam Adebayo. So the Sixers, what they did that game, they went ahead and they primarily hunted Tyler Herro on defense. They would go ahead and get a switch, obviously, with the worst defender on Tyrese Maxey, and that was Tyler Herro. So they went ahead and hunted him, and they scored like close to, seems like, every single possession. And I even saw a hook shot that was hit by George Niang while guarded by Tyler Herro, and once that went in, I knew the game was over, okay? And then on to the next game. We lost, obviously, to the Warriors, which was another awful game that people just cannot keep talking about. A game that obviously we know the skirmish between on the bench with UD, with Jimmy Butler, with Eric Spoelstra. We all know what happened. Jimmy Butler, we know he is a hothead. He's won't back down to anybody. So yeah. So obviously we lose that game. The Warriors start off the second half with a 16-0 run. Jordan Poole hits 2 lucky threes off the backboard. The momentum is just swifted all the way to the Warriors, and then Spo calls the timeout. The skirmish happens, and the Heat go on like a 31-10 run. And we still lose the game because, again, we have been losing to teams pretty much all year when we're supposed to win. The problem with the Miami Heat this season has not been our inability to win games against good teams that are fully healthy. The problem with us this year is our inability to win games against teams that we're supposed to be, including we lost this year to the Kings because Jimmy Butler missed close to a wide open layup. We lost to the play-in Lakers again because, again, all year they played us tough. We just lose against teams that we're supposed to be, which will not be the problem at all this playoffs. In the playoffs, we will face close to the best competition possible, including having to face probably the Nets if you move on, potentially the Bucks or the Sixers or the Celtics. Like, it really just is all dependent, obviously, on seeding, so we really don't even know. But the fact that we lost that game really just caused a lot of overreaction, especially of fans of teams that in their lifetime have never seen win a ring. It's like poverty. Lottery team fans just saying, yeah, the Heat this year, just because they lost that game to the Warriors in particular, this is why the team is not going far at all. This is why the team is getting swept in the first round. This is why Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant will average 100 points a game against the Miami Heat defense, who now they call out as fraudulent, even though we have 4 very good defenders on our team. Closing out the lineup, obviously, and now you go ahead and just throw away a whole entire season just because of that 2-game stretch. Then there was last night when we lost a game that we were up 17 points in the 4th quarter. We went ahead and lost that game to the Knicks. No Julius Randle, which honestly was a plus for the Knicks. I promise you, if the Knicks had Julius Randle yesterday, the Miami Heat would have won that game. Mark my word on that. We have shown to own the Knicks for years. That's why the Knicks fans have so much hatred for us, especially playoff time. When we had LeBron, we would just continue to own the fuck out of the Knicks. That's why Knicks fans have this hatred towards Heat fans, and LeBron hasn't been on his team for so long. We have owned the Knicks for, it seems like, forever, and they can't wait until we slip up just call us out and call us out of our name.
As well as Sixers fans who literally y'all team picked Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler, and y'all lost to Kawhi on that game winner. And yeah,
last night's loss was awful against the Knicks. I'm not saying it was nothing to worry about. Obviously, I'm a little bit worried, but people, especially Heat fans in particular, y'all are saying that after this whole entire season, y'all still say we are first round exits. I saw somebody say that the Chicago Bulls would beat the Miami Heat in a 7-game series. Are you drunk, high, or mentally inefficient? How is a team that has lost to us 3 times and still has not beaten a playoff team this season, the Chicago Bulls, is going to come out of nowhere, go into the playoffs for the first time, and it seems like forever since Derrick Rose left, and beat the Miami Heat, who are 2 years removed from being in the NBA Finals, a finals that just wasn't given any credit to either Laker fans or Heat fans. The fact that people say that the bubble was built for quote unquote the Miami Heat when the environment was the same for everybody, when literally there was no fans for everybody. And we know if there were fans, both us and Laker fans, we both have diehard fans. Most teams in the NBA have diehard fans. So again, I don't know how the bubble was quote unquote built for the Miami Heat when we go ahead and we have these diehard fans for years. Like, again, I just don't understand how it was built for us. We were a 5th seed. We beat the Pacers in the first round. We beat Boston in 6, and we were better than Boston that year. We beat the Bucks, which should have been 4 games. The only game we lost is when Giannis left like halfway through the game, and we won game 5 obviously. And then we went ahead and we lost in 6 to the Lakers, which honestly should have been a sweep for the Lakers, but we went ahead and somehow prevailed to only lose in 6. Especially given that Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic were dealing with injuries, and we, for a game or 2, we had to start Myers Leonard at center, and somehow the bubble was just built for us. Again, I would never understand that statement at all. People just saying that. I just know that they just don't know basketball, and I just can't deal with the fact that the Miami Heat are good once again.
Especially due to the fact that if your team was in the finals and won that finals, it definitely would have counted. But of course, because it was a Lakers Heat finals, it just quote unquote didn't count, even though your team just wasn't there, and it was just so quote unquote easy.
After they thought that once LeBron left, we're gonna become poverty, and still became a pretty good playoff team. And yeah, y'all teams are just sadly just owned by us. So again, just doesn't make sense where his hate is just coming from. Like the fact that as of right now, we're getting more coverage and we're getting talked about more for our losses than for our wins, just shows you just how weird the circle of all of this is. When the Miami Heat went ahead and beat the best team in basketball, the Phoenix Suns, without Jimmy Butler and without Bam Adebayo by 23 points, where was the coverage about that? I do not understand it at all. I just really don't understand where the coverage was when Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson both outscored Devin Booker while both playing off the bench and winning by 23 points without our 2 best players. Again, where was that coverage? Where was the coverage when the Miami Heat beat Philadelphia by 5 points without Bam and Jimmy? Again, it was not there. Gabe Vincent dropped 26 points. We did not hear about that at all. Gabe Vincent outscored Joel Embiid. And again, where was the coverage? But as soon as the Miami Heat lose a game against the Philly, shorthandedly, the Sixers are, oh my God, the Heat are frauds. The Heat, I know the Heat just weren't going to go far this year. The Bucks own them. They're about to get first rounded by the Nets. Kyrie and KD are about to kill those frauds. They're about to go insane. Like, hello, where was all this noise when we literally have been the first seed for over 2 months? We have been going insane all year, but as soon as we have this sort of a fuck up, of course, here all of our haters come back. Here are all of our haters, especially teams that just have never amounted to anything in their lifetime. I'm seeing fans of teams like the Magic saying, oh my God, the Heat are frauds. The Nets are about to expose them. Let's go. Like, again, in your lifetime, you will never see your team amount to anything. In my lifetime, in my short 19 years, I've seen my team win 3 rings, and that is more than enough. So again, you can say all this and all that. I do not care. In my lifetime, I've seen my team win 3 rings. But again, it's so weird because we've been good all year, and we literally, first, we don't get any national coverage. The fact that the Lakers and the Knicks, 2 play-in teams, get more coverage than a team that has been first in the Eastern Conference for 2 months and has dealt with our 2 best players, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, missing minimum seems like 30 plus games each. We still been first. I know everybody's been injured, the Rona, this and that, but bro, we have prevailed. We have shown to beat good teams without our best players, and you're still going ahead to discredit us because of a 3-game stretch. Today is the day that the Miami Heat should go ahead and show you why they are legit. Today we play against the Nets, and it should be a playoff atmosphere. Last night we didn't play well at all. We are coming to kill the Nets today. The Heat should go ahead and go absolutely insane to the Nets. Now if they do not, then yeah, then we should maybe continue to worry. But again, y'all flip-flop. If we win today against the Nets, y'all be like, man, that shit don't count. Regular season game, this ain't playoffs. But if you lose the game, God forbid, oh my god, the Nets are going to kill the Heat in the first round. I knew they were frauds. They can't even beat the Nets in the regular season. That shit counts. Like I said, if we lose that game, it doesn't count. Wait until the playoffs, they say. Like, y'all flip-flop so much. Y'all want to hate on us so much that it's actually kind of funny because, again, in your lifetime, your team has not won 3 rings. So again, I just could not care less about your opinion at all. All I want to say is keep that same energy, okay? If the Nets go ahead and match up with this first round, then so be it. I'm not gonna care. The only team I don't want to face is obviously the Bucks because they match up very tough with us. And then we're gonna troll, even though we should put Bam Adebayo on Giannis. We're gonna put PJ Tucker on Giannis. They're gonna go ahead and they're gonna find a switch. They're gonna go ahead and switch Tyler Herro on Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is gonna kill Tyler Herro, and that will be the story of that series. It's gonna be Chris Middleton owning Tyler Herro. It's gonna be Giannis just obliterating PJ Tucker. But again, that's only if we match up, and that's the only team I don't want to face in the East. That is it. That is the only team I don't want to face. The Nets, we've shown this year, fully healthy, that Bam Adebayo can contain Joel Embiid. James Harden in the playoffs, he will guard himself. And the Nets are a team that is all offense, no defense. We are all defense, some offense. Yes, one of our problems is late game execution, which been as of recent because we haven't had Tyler Herro for our last 2 games, and coincidence, they have been 2 losses. This is what happens when your best scorer is not playing. This is what happens when you have a guy that is the leading scorer of your basketball team, and when you don't have him, shocker, you lose the basketball game. That's how it works. Tyler Herro has bailed us out of so many games this season, and you still see people discrediting him, saying this guy should not be the 6th man of the year because Kevin Love has a higher Raptor. Are you fucking mentally checked out? What in the living fuck is a Raptor, and why are you using this quote-unquote advanced stat to discredit Tyler Herro's season? Then you guys will say, yeah, Tyler Herro is not the 6th man of the year because he plays started minutes, because he plays 33 plus minutes a game. Do you guys not know who Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams are? These are guys that played 30 plus minutes. They came into the game early and they closed out the games for their teams, and they won 6th man of the year, as well as Montrezl Harrell 2 years ago, as well as Jordan Clarkson last year. These guys play 30 plus minutes, they come into the game early, and they close out the game. Those guys are 6 mans. But why, when a player of the Miami Heat, Tyler Herro, is in that same situation, why are you discrediting that and using a fake stat named quote unquote Raptor to diminish his season and say that he is just not good? He beats up on opposing teams' backups. Did you not watch the whole entire year for the Miami Heat? Tyler Herro closes out the game for the Miami Heat, so he plays against the starters of the Miami Heat. Did you not watch Tyler Herro just cook up on Jrue Holiday in the Bucks and that 1-point loss? You did not. You just go ahead, you watch highlights, you watch stats, you watch Twitter clips, and be like, yeah, Miami Heat had a light fuck up and they just frauds and they better get first rounded, and I cannot wait for their downfall. And you're just 100% weird for that. So yeah, but again, keep that same energy. I want to see today, if we go ahead and beat the Nets, I promise you we will not get our respect. We didn't get our respect for beating the Bucks with our leading scorer being Max Strus and our top players being out. We did not get respect for that game at all. We did not get respect for that Suns game. We did not get respect for that Sixers game. Of course, when we lose against the Sixers, when we lose against the Warriors, when we lose against the Knicks, this is where the hatred comes from. And again, it's so funny and it's so weird because it's fans of teams that will never be good in their lifetime or will never amount to anything at all in the playoffs. I just can't keep talking about the Miami Heat when they're losing, but when they're winning, they'll have nothing to say. And it's just such weird behavior, and you guys are just absolute weirdos, and I cannot wait for my team to go ahead and just prove you all wrong, because at this point it's honestly just so sad how teams are just obsessed with the Miami Heat. Teams just cannot wait to beat us, and it's honestly amazing because I just love seeing teams, the streams just fall apart when they go ahead and face us. And I promise you today we will play a very tough game against the Nets and we should win that game, okay? But other than that, y'all, that is the video. Make sure to go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. And what are your thoughts on this video? What do you guys agree or disagree with? Because I know it was definitely some controversial stuff right here, but hey, don't care. Speaking my opinion, and teams want to go ahead and discredit the Heat when we're down, cook us while we're down, but when we're up, we don't get any respect for that. Yeah, okay. Like I said, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy John, and I'm out, man. Peace.